After a very long but interesting race at Charlotte Motor Speedway, we move through the next portion of the DPORL Cup Series schedule here at Kentucky Speedway, where 40 drivers will battle out in the 1.5-mile track for the checkered flag. We made it to race number 4 of the season, and boy is it going to be a good one. Everybody is absolutely looking forward to the Quaker State 100. It's all part of the DPORL Cup Series 2024. Hello everybody, this is Drew Webb, or That DP Guy, and we have made it to the 4th race of the 2024 DPORL Cup Series season. It's going to be a good one. It's at Kentucky Speedway, and I absolutely love this track. Even though it isn't on the real life schedule, I hope it'll return one day, and I feel like it can produce some really good racing at times, even if the real life product wasn't the greatest at the time. Of course, we got our 40 drivers here, and we've got some familiar names up front, some contenders from the Exhibition Series, now in the Main Cup Series. Let's go ahead and take a look at that starting lineup. That'll scroll on the left side of your screen. On pole is the 30. That is CJ Grider, our Clash winner. How about that for CJ? On pole, gonna look to have a better run in this regular season than the preseason. The preseason was really good, got the Clash win, but needs a better run once we get into the regular season. And now, all right, starting second, Jack Haas in the 95 car, looking to rebound after some questionable runs. Row 2, we've got Angel Gutierrez on the inside, who has had some fantastic runs and looks to build on that momentum. We have Justin Perez in the 42 in 4th position, who had some good exhibition runs but needs to have some better regular runs in the regular season. Caleb Rose in row 3 had an exhibition win, looking to pick up a win in the regular season. And Igor Barreto in the 13 car, haven't mentioned him a whole lot this year. And in row 4, Tom Sloan in the 4 car, Caleb Holloway in the 16 car, both having great runs last week. And finally, Alex Smith in the 27 and Kyler Sustry in the 18. Now let's get the command.
Drivers, start your engines!
Yeah, we finally got a different command. It's the 4th race of the year, and that lady finally gave up on this. All right, here we go. So, we're going to go ahead and now take a look at our race info. As you can see, this is a 1.5-mile track, and we'll be racing 67 laps here. The fuel window, approximately 30-35 laps. Could be shorter, though. Watch out. Sometimes those teams like to get a little testy with us and give us some of the wrong info, so we'll have to see about that. But when it comes to fuel strategy, anything tire strategy related, you just want 4 tires and fuel, to be honest, at Kentucky. With the surface so worn out at this point, you probably just want to not take the risk, take the tires, and everything should work out just fine. So after that there, we have CJ Grider looking to lead the field to green and hopefully lead some laps, get the checkered flag today. As we move through turns 3 and 4, it's going to be CJ Grider, Jack Haas on the front row. Who will get into turn 1 first? That's the question in our 4th race of the season at Kentucky Speedway. We're getting ready to go green here, and we are green at Kentucky Speedway. Interestingly enough, off of turn 4, it's Jack Haas leading the first lap. How about that? That outside line really working well. at this moment in time. CJ Grider having to check up big time. Big checkup. And Justin Perez now going for the lead on the 95. Let's see what that 42 can do. Looks like Perez to the inside, side by side on the 95. Let's see what kind of run Jack Haas gets off the corner. You can see Barretto in the 13 looking maybe to split the middle. We'll see about that as we head into turn 1 once again. Let's see what this 42 can do to stay to the inside. Can't do much there. And now Barretto to the outside of Perez. Having to check up big time, and now your top two, that's going to be Jack Haas and Igor Barretto. Unless Justin Perez can get to the inside and maintain a good exit off the corner. Looks like they're going to stay side by side for the moment. You can see Jack Haas in the lead, Perez second, Barretto third. There's Grider in fourth, and Holloway in fifth. Caleb Holloway. Nice start to the race at this moment. Here we go. Off of turn 2, it looks like it's going to be Barretto getting the advantage. So Jack Haas, Igor Barretto, 1-2. There's Kyler Sustry diving it in deep. And there's Caleb Holloway getting a good exit off the corner to the inside of CJ Grider. Looks like Holloway going to dive deep to the inside right on that yellow line and will get clear. So that 16 car is clear at the moment. Igor Barretto closing in on the 95 of Jack Haas. We could have a battle for the lead pretty darn soon. Let's see what this 13 can do, diving to the inside. There you go, forcing the issue. Dives it in pretty deep. Let's see what he can do off the corner. Well, let's see. Can't get a great angle on it, but it looks like they're going to remain side by side for the moment. Maybe. Yes, they are still side by side. But it looks like Justin Perez is going to get to the outside. That outside lane, very dominant right now, which is a big surprise. We haven't had too many tracks where the outside line is that dominant early in the run, but right now the outside is the place to be. We'll see how that works out as the run develops when we get later into this early green flag run. But look at this, diving inside, Justin Perez for the lead on Jack Haas. Into turn number 1. Haas going to get a good run, and that's going to absolutely mean nothing for Justin Perez. Can Barretto get to the outside? Looks like Barretto will get to the outside. We'll see what that 13 can do with the outside lane. Not much, because the 42 is closing in on the 95 of Jack Haas, but loses it off the corner. So Barretto now looking almost to the outside of Jack Haas, unbelievably. Now into turn 1, look at that. Barretto's going to get a good run, Haas is going to get a good run, but Barretto getting a better run than Haas. Now peeking to the inside for the lead on the 95 car. Here we go, can the 13 get to the lead? Holding pretty well at the moment, but it's just not going to work out. That outside line, too good right now. But once again, we are only on lap 9, so that could change very quickly. Let's see, could Justin Perez get to the outside of Igor Barretto? Yes, and now Caleb Holloway potentially going to get to the outside of the 13. Didn't quite get there right there, but Justin Perez now to second position as the top 3 are single file at the moment. But look at this, the 42 getting another massive run off the corner, as Jack Haas just not able to get off the corner real well when not side by side. When he is side by side though, take a look at that. Jack Haas clears easily, gets a great run off the corner. Look at this, Kyler Sustry looked outside, now looks inside on the 13 of Igor Barretto. As you can see, Justin Perez all over the bumper of Jack Haas, but not able to do anything quite yet. Barretto looking outside. Uh-oh, here's Sustry looking inside, Perez looking outside. What's going to happen here? We almost went 3 wide. Sustry almost got second, but Perez is going to get the run off the corner. Wow, what a sequence of events. Getting very close here at Kentucky. And it looks like it's going to get even closer because Perez got a good run, not on the bottom. just went about quarter to half a lane up, and that makes a huge difference down the straightaway when compared to Jack Haas really lifting off the corner. Look at that. Perez has a nose ahead. Is the move going to be complete? Looks like it. Justin Perez to the lead. How about that? Nice move. And now Jack Haas having to defend against Kyler Sustrice. We're going 3 wide. Angel Gutierrez to the inside of Caleb Holloway and Caleb Rose. Looks like Caleb Rose will get a nice little run off the corner. You know, I've been talking about these runs. I mean, they are really, really massive here at Kentucky. If you can time it right, run about half a lane up, maybe even a full lane up, I mean, you can just get huge runs. But right now, it's Justin Perez and Kyler Sustry, 2 of our early exhibition racers who stuck with us. How about that for these 2? Battling for a potential win. Now, we don't know anything yet. I mean, this group right here, you can see they're battling hard. Haas, Barretto, and Rose. I mean, this group could win. You can see Holloway, Alex Smith. There's Angel Gutierrez in the back half of the top 10. Nick Kensington's there. Still a long ways to go, but here we go. Kyler Sustry to the inside. We'll see what they can do. On the inside of Justin Perez, not much. Not much at all. And now Caleb Rose trying to make a move on Igor Barretto. Let's see what happens into turn 1. Oh yeah, Caleb Rose. Once again, just a great corner. Great driver, to be honest. Can handle the outside line pretty darn well and made a great move right there. Now Jack Haas all over Kyler Sustry. We'll see how this develops because Justin Perez is pulling away. And that's huge. That 42 can build up a pretty big gap before pit stops. I mean, that's absolutely massive. Here's Holloway, way up. But it didn't work that time because Barretto got a great run and even Alex Smith got a great run. How about this 27 car? I haven't talked about Alex Smith a whole lot, but they've had a very good run in these exhibition races. Maybe haven't had the finishes to show for it, but you know, just got to keep going at it, and maybe one result will work out in a positive way. As here comes Caleb Rose, who wanted to peek to the inside of Jack Haas, but didn't quite get there. Looks like we're settling down just a bit, but looks like Justin Perez had an awful corner as Kyler Sustry jumping to the outside. Wow, so that 42 must have really slipped up to give Kyler Sustry a big chance like that. We'll see what Sustry can do with it, as we can see what Rose is doing with the opportunity on Haas. Looks like that could be a future pass in the making. Here we go, the 18 looking a little bit higher than the 42. We'll see what that does as Haas got a terrible exit of the corner. That's going to allow Caleb Rose to the inside of Jack Haas, but as you know, that inside, not the best place to be necessarily. Still battling for the lead at the moment. We'll see how that shapes out, but I want to keep focus on this battle for third. Man, everybody's going at it for third position. And it looks like Caleb Rose is going to get third away from the 13 and the 95. Wow, that is absolutely huge for Caleb Rose. And now Igor Barretto looking even lower than Caleb Rose, trying to peek to the inside. Wow, so Barretto not giving up here. You know, I mean, it could shake out many ways. I mean, they could battle and lose a bunch of ground on these lead 2, or maybe they're just flat out faster. Maybe they'll run them down. But I think Caleb Rose has a car that can win this race. He's been absolutely flying through the field here. Had a little bit of a hiccup along the way trying to get to the outside to make the pass, but everything looking pretty darn good so far. So your top 10 at the moment is going to be Perez, Sustry, Rose, Barretto, Haas, Holloway, Gutierrez, Alex Smith, Aaron Abel, and Nick Kensington. Here's Barretto looking on Rose now. maybe that inside's starting to come in a little bit as we get later into this run. I mean, Barretto still had to check up, but not nearly as much as early in the run. That outside line is losing just a little bit of its momentum that it carried early in the run. So we'll see as we get even farther whether that dynamic shifts to where the inside is the dominant lane, or maybe not. Maybe that outside will just be the place to be all race long. And speaking of the outside, there is Jack Haas once again to the outside of Barretto. And off the corner, they're going to stay side by side. That's going to stack up the field behind. There's Alex Smith looking on Angel Gutierrez, as Haas was not clear on Barretto, so that's really going to stack things up once again, as those two race side by side off of turn 4. Let's see what Holloway is going to do here. Can Caleb Holloway potentially make a move? We'll have to wait and see. Jack Haas really diving it in there to stay to the outside of Barretto. Looks like it's going to work out for Jack Haas. And these top two are absolutely out of here. Justin Perez, Kyler Sustry, completely gone. We'll see if anybody can catch up to these two, but right now they're in control of this race. Now, if they get battling, that could definitely change things. If they race side by side, you could see Caleb Rose kind of catch up here. I don't know about this group, though. They are battling like crazy. Almost going 3 wide, but it looks like Kensington thought better of it. Haas prevails right now, but we'll have to wait and see if anybody can get back to Haas. Now it's Barretto and Holloway side by side. Alex Smith and Angel Gutierrez still side by side. And Kensington wants to look to the inside of Abel. And Monaco now looking to the inside of Greider. Haven't mentioned Eric Monaco today. Haven't mentioned Daniel Voiles and Blaine Keys today. Those two have just been sneaky quick in the front half of the 10 through 20 range. Getting further back up front. Here we go. Sustry on the back of Perez. Let's see if Sustry makes a move down the front straightaway. No, just going to stay in line as Perez pulls away slightly. These two are still gapping the rest of the field. And while they're gapping the rest of the field, let's take a look at what's happening at the back of the field if they don't start battling for the lead, because I just noticed the 18 got a pretty good run. Looks like, well, here we go. We might have a pass for the lead. We don't want to miss this. That's my worst fear, missing a pass for the lead while we're reviewing 40th. But no, looks like nothing's happening right now. So at the back of the field, Laura Chung, Samad Ozkin, Reggie Fogelman, Skylar Taylor, Leonard Koksmar, Jonathan Carrison, Alex Sanvital, all the way back here. Our points leader, RJ Beers, in the 19. That's notable. We could have a new points leader after this race, so we'll wait and see on that. Just moving through the field, the back half of this field is battling hard. There's Bryce Egan, Benny Watson, Bernardo de Oliveira, with Bradley Ream, almost going 3 wide. Logan Williams looking to the inside of Blaine Keys as we're getting feisty through the middle of this pack. Watch out for a potential caution there. So we head back up front. Yep, the 42 has pulled away now slightly. We'll see if the 18 can close back in. But we are mostly single-filed out at the moment. We'll go ahead and search for some battles here. Daniel Voiles, Nick Kensington side by side. And here comes Tom Sloan to the inside of both of them after they washed up the track. But now they're all going to come into the pit lane, and we do not want a disaster like last week. Oh, man. If you saw last week, Laura Chung absolutely slamming the pit wall. There's no pit wall to slam into here, luckily. But it looks like your top two are in. We're going to follow the 42 of Justin Perez through the pit lane and see how it all shakes out. This is pretty darn early. Lap 29 of 67. That means they will have to make another stop in this race. Unless somebody's pulling some crazy fuel-saving strategy, stays out long. I mean, you could see that happen. But, you know, you kind of want to get to lap 33, 34, if you can. Perez going to, side by side with Sustry, actually. That's huge. These two are going to go side by side off the pit lane. The 18 is going to have to give. And that's going to give Perez a pretty big advantage as we exit the pit lane. That 42 did pretty good to get out there. Hey, there's Jack Haas in the 95. Did Jack Haas pit a lap earlier? I can't quite tell. We'll have to see. I think Jack Haas pitted about a lap earlier. So that's going to allow Jack Haas now to take second position overall. Whoa, hang on. Just as I say that, the 22 has retired from the race. Samad Ozkin is out of the race. And is that Bryce Egan with damage or just Bryce Egan pitting? Okay, no damage. Bryce Egan just pitting. But Samad Ozkin out of the race, I assume, with a potential mechanical failure. It doesn't say accident, so that's unfortunate for the 22. Tough break. Let's see how we're cycled out now. Just looking through the rest of this field. Anybody coming in this time? Okay, there we go. 42's the leader. Okay, so I was all screwed up there. Justin Perez is the leader, as expected. There's Laura Chung with some damage. It must have been entering the pit lane. Are you kidding me? Laura Chung 2 weeks in a row? That is absolutely unbelievable. Well, we'll go ahead and review what happened after the race. But for now, Laura Chung with damage, with a potential pit road incident. Let's see, we got Bryce Egan a lap down, Logan Williams a lap down, Reggie Fogelman a lap down, Samad Ozkin out of the race. Laura Chung and Skylar Taylor pretty far back. So we'll have to take a look at what happened there. I promise I will get a replay to you after the race has concluded. But Jack Haas looking pretty good right now as he tries to catch the 42 of Justin Perez. We are closing in on halfway, but it looks like they will have to make another stop, and that is huge because that's going to allow strategy to come into play. Maybe you could see no tires, just a gas and go, maybe 2 tires. You just don't know. Here's Sustry coming back on Jack Haas, and that's expected because Haas did pit earlier. Here we go. To the inside of Haas is Sustry. Will Haas get a good run? Not quite, actually. At 18, able to stick it to the inside of Jack Haas. And that means that Kyler Sustry, unless things go wrong in 3 and 4, is going to take second position away. Well, things did go wrong in 4 because Haas is coming back. This is going to be a battle. Jack Haas is not going to let this position slide easily. Wow, look at that. Jack Haas will maintain second position on Kyler Sustry. That is an absolutely fantastic move. Looking back further, there's Caleb Rose in 4th position. 3 and probably going to be close to 3.5 seconds back at this point. Reggie Fogelman is a lap down. There's the 16 of Caleb Holloway. There's Angel Gutierrez to the outside of Caleb Holloway. That is for position. Let's watch this move. Angel Gutierrez just trying to stick it. And that is absolutely what'll happen. So Angel Gutierrez will take 5th position away and potentially challenge for one of these higher spots in the standings. I mean, you got to watch out. Gutierrez has been putting together some great runs recently. Maybe launching a charge for that top spot in the championship standings. Further back, there's Eric Monaco, Bradley Reen battling. They both got ahead of Igor Barreto. There's Lucian Bianchi. That's going to round out your top 10. Is Eric Monaco on old tires? Because the way Eric Monaco had to check up there, you would think that Monaco is in pretty rough shape tire-wise, but no, it must have just been a really rough corner for that 3 machine. Here we go. Sustry now all the way to the inside of Haas. Jack Haas going to continue to send it to the outside. And once again, the 95 just going to continue to stay side by side. That's going to hurt those two. And that's just going to allow the 42 to pull away. Justin Perez is absolutely out of here, but we still have one more pit cycle and some lap traffic to go. Coming up on the lap car of Laura Chung, who unfortunately has been involved in, I assume, another pit lane incident with all that front end damage. Just terribly unfortunate for this 99 car. She was looking to have a solid run to rebound from the awful hit last week. Not going to happen this week. But Justin Perez, I mean, what can you say? That 42 has been absolutely fantastic all race. Has been really absolutely fantastic since the first exhibition race this year, but hasn't really been able to convert anything into wins. So we'll see what the 42 can do with just under 30 laps to go in this event. Jack Haas continuing to hold second. There's Angel Gutierrez. Holloway fell back, and the 47 is going. Here we go. This is going to be a charge for potentially all the way up to second when it's all said and done. Look at this. Aggressive. 3 wide on the bottom. Definitely checking up there and having to get out of it. So that's going to hurt the 47's charge to the front. But I'm sure that won't shake Angel Gutierrez, who has been super aggressive but super clean this year to this point. Here we go. The 47 looking inside of Reggie Fogelman. Remember, Reggie Fogelman is a lap machine. But Fogelman just being a pain for some of these guys in the top 5 with a pretty fast race car, you know. Just going to be tough to get by when you hold the outside lane. Haas in second position is now 3 seconds back, closing in on 3.5 seconds back from the leader, Justin Perez. At this point, it's looking like if everything goes the way it should, that 42 could be a winner. But like I said, still one more pit cycle, one more chance for these teams to play some strategy games. And I guess you never know what could happen at Kentucky. You know, Kentucky can be a wild racetrack, especially fuel mileage wise, you know, especially tire strategy wise with how these lanes are working out. Back here, Angel Gutierrez still trying to get by Fogelman. Here's Caleb Rose now closing out on this battle between Sestrai and Haas. Rose looked all the way down. That's going to cause a little bit of a gap here, because Rose, for some reason, in the middle of the trial, decided checking up would be a good idea. Whatever, I guess. Do whatever you want to do. Igor Barreto now to the front of this group. That is 6th position, getting past Caleb Holloway, who has struggled this second run, which is very uncharacteristic for the driver who has been honestly pretty great to open the season. As I say that, though, I mean, now I'm thinking about last race, Caleb Holloway was great in the first run, wasn't as great in the second run. So actually, this could be a trend moving forward. Fogelman to the outside of Rose, and now looking to the outside of Sustrai. Once again, that is not for position. It's going to be a thorn in the sides of these drivers. The gap has come down for Justin Perez in the 42, now 2.79 seconds. That was closer to 3.5. 42 really checking up behind the 99. The 99 pulling away just slightly. Gap stayed about the same this previous lap. But that is notable. But Justin Perez not able to navigate the lap car of Laura Chung that well. So could this bring the rest of the field into the picture? Would sure be quite interesting if it did. Let's take a look at the gap this time around. Going to be 3.04 seconds. So actually, it's working out for the 42. Gap going back up. Here's Gutierrez to the inside of Sustrai, but Sustrai looking outside of Fogelman. And now looking to put a challenge on Jack Haas once again. As Logan Williams gets to the outside of Angel Gutierrez, these lap cars are absolutely playing a role in this battle right now. Gutierrez looking inside once again on Fogelman, but once again had to check up as Igor Barreto has joined this group once again. This is a very exciting battle for second position. Wish this was the battle for the lead right here, but I'm sure the 42 does not wish that this was the battle for the lead. He's enjoying it out there. Perez in the 42 just enjoying the gap, looking to bring it home. But one error during pit stops could ruin everything for any of these drivers. But look at that, Kyler Sustry to second position. The top two are back in the order they've been in. And so this is huge for Kyler Sustry, who now pulls away from the 95. Oh my goodness. Could it be Kyler Sustry launching a challenge at the 42? Still too early to tell, but let's check the margins this time. Could it potentially be closer, or is Perez really gone? It is closer. Oh man, that came down a couple tenths that lap, so watch out. We could be watching a charge for the lead. These lap cars, though, man, they're going to really hinder that challenge. As here comes Logan Williams to the inside of Kyler Sustry with Reggie Fogelman looking to follow. And unfortunately, this is really going to hurt the 18's chances to get to Perez before the pit cycle, as that gap climbs right back up. These lap cars need to get a move on if they're going to get by the 18. Otherwise, it's just a hindrance to the rest of the pack. But the 18 instead is going to go ahead and fight back, and I think that's going to hurt more. I mean, you got to just tuck in behind the lap cars at some point. Just accept that they're faster at the moment. But unfortunately, that is not going to happen right now. For some reason, everybody went high, and I mean, that's a good move line-wise, but thought somebody was going to be pitting there. Looks like nobody decided to pit. As you can see, Justin Perez, next lap traffic will be the 96 of Skylar Taylor, who is currently sitting in 35th position. Logan Williams is now past the 18 of Kyler Sustry, with the 48 of Reggie Fogelman looking probably to the outside this time. Oh, nope, pit stops. Here we go. Oh, late pit entry for Tom Sloan. Didn't quite catch it. But Tom Sloan probably going to end up having to serve a penalty. That was a very, very late attempt at pit entry. I wonder if that's what happened with Laura Chung. Wow. And so Sustry is in. Same with RJ Beers, Angel Gutierrez. The last pit cycle is kicking off pretty early right now. Let's see. 4 tires probably for the 18. Let's take a look. No, was that 2 tires? I think that was 2 tires. That's interesting. Very interesting call. Will the 47 take 4 tires? No, looks like the 47 just had a relatively slow stop. Well, that's interesting there. So Angel Gutierrez with not the best stop in the world. Next group coming in. Looks like Perez is staying out long in the 42 car. Is Jack Haas also staying out? Yes. So Perez, Haas, and Rose have decided to stay out a little bit long here. There's not going to be a long run at the end, though, so honestly, this may end up hurting them. They'll have fresher tires, but who knows? Oh, looks like Caleb Rose putting the bumper to Jack Haas. And now Rose heading in the pit lane. Here comes Haas. It's wide. Uh-oh, there we go. Jack Haas to the outside of the cone. We'll see what the game says, but probably a penalty for Jack Haas. Wow, these drivers just not very clean with their pit entries. I think it was Caleb Rose pushing the 95 wide, and that's going to hurt the 95. So here's Justin Perez in for the stop on lap 56 of 67. Let's see. 4 tires for the 42. And I believe the other stops were 4 tires. I apologize. I think I misspoke there. All I saw them change were the left sides, and for some reason I thought it was a 2-tire stop. But I believe everybody was with the 4-tire stop. So apologies for that, but let's see. There's Tom Sloan going by. There's Kyler Sustry going by. Are those going to be the leaders when it cycles all out? I'm not sure. Let's see what happened with these drivers. So Logan Williams is looking potentially to the inside of Tom Sloan. Is Tom Sloan going to cycle to the lead here? Just to be clear. No, it's going to be Kyler Sustry cycling to the lead. So the 18 car is the leader right now, with Justin Perez 3.66 seconds back and only 10 laps to catch. Nick Kensington is now in second, and Lucien Bianchi is now in third position. Looks like CJ Greider is going to be in fourth position. And so Justin Perez might not win this race after all. Unbelievable. I can't believe this. One of the dominant cars of the day probably just not gonna have his day. Wow. So Sustry just kind of hanging in there in the 18 over Nick Kensington with another great run, by the way, for this 43. How about Nick Kensington? That's the kind of run he needs. Lucien Bianchi in third. I mean, that's a good run, especially considering I believe Bianchi is in the top 5 in points. Correct me if I'm wrong. But that means we could have a potential new points leader. Let's check where the 19 is. The 19 is... Must have missed it. For some reason, my eyes can't read right now. I don't know why I can't find the 19 in here. Hang on just a second. 15th position. Okay. So maybe not the new points leader, but, you know, could gain some valuable points on the 19 car. Gap has gone up. Kyler Sustry is absolutely out of here at the moment. Can anybody run this 18 car down? Sustry has been with us for quite a long time here, from, I believe, the first exhibition race of the new attempt at a series. So it'd be great to see the 18 go to victory lane. But anything can happen. 2.42 seconds at the line. Can Kensington make a charge at all, or is this race essentially over? We're going to have to wait and see. Looking at the rest of your top 10, there's Bianchi third, Greider fourth, Perez fifth, Holloway sixth, Voiles going to be seventh, Brandon Rose eighth, Eric Monaco ninth, and how about Benny Watson in 10th position? I haven't talked about this 34, but Benny Watson now climbing into the top 10. Good point stay for the 34 machine. Now Sustry looking to the outside of Tom Sloan. Sloan will most likely get out of the way. No, never mind. Whenever I say something, the opposite happens. Of course. So those two will race side by side as we've hit lap 63 of 67. Just 5 laps to go for anyone to hunt down this 18 machine. Let's take a look at some battles further back in the pack. You can see Zach Magoon and Dylan Matthews going at it. As we go further up through this group, we got some drivers going at it back here. Jack Haas, yeah, just so unfortunate for the 95. In 17th position at the moment. Brutal, absolutely brutal after being up there. And there's Igor Barreto, Angel Gutierrez. Man, so unfortunate. Caleb Rose. That group just didn't work out for them. Now they're just stuck at this point. Just trying to salvage any points that they can get. Voiles to the inside of Holloway. Monaco to the inside of Rose. And Voiles will take the spot here. So Daniel Voiles just climbing up through the field. That'll be once again another good points day for the 40 machine. But back up front, Kyler Sustry is absolutely gone. And unless any chaotic thing that happens on the last lap, which it's happened to me plenty of times, I would know anything that could happen on the last lap here. But I think it's safe to say we're going to have another new winner here. Just 2 laps to go for the 18 of Kyler Sustry. That 18 machine looking nice. The Interstate Batteries 18. I love the white paint scheme here. I don't know. I'm just a fan of that. You know, some people like the green. I really like the white. Just looks furious right there. And I'm excited to see the driver go to victory lane. 1 lap to go for Kyler Sustry in the 18. Gap is 3 seconds, and it is not shrinking anytime soon. This 18 machine has been, you know, up and down in the exhibitions and the regular season, but, you know, gonna change things today. Gonna be a pretty big high. The 18 of Kyler Sustry off a turn 4 is going to go to victory lane. Kyler Sustry wins at Kentucky. Great job for that whole 18 team, the 18 crew. Second place, there's Nick Kensington, who came out of nowhere. Lucien Bianchi third. CJ Greider in fourth. And Justin Perez, the dominant car of the day, in fifth. Daniel Voiles got 6th, and Eric Monaco was able to get 7th. So great job for those two. 8th was Caleb Holloway with another good run. Brandon Rose in 9th, and there's Benny Watson completing the top 10. So as we head to pit lane here, and we get a massive stack up. Oh my goodness. Hold on there, guys. Dang. I have a feeling that's what happened that damaged Laura Chung's car, but could be wrong. So as everybody pulls in, let's go ahead and take a look through your finishing order. Like I said, Kyler Sustry getting the win. Finally, first career win on the channel. Nick Kensington second. Let's take a look at some of these guys that finished further down the field that could have finished higher. You can see it. Caleb Rose, 17th. Jack Haas, 15th. Blaine Keys, 19th. Angel Gutierrez, 18th. Caleb Rose in 17th position. All of them could have finished higher up through the field, but unfortunately had bad final stops. So just very, very unfortunate for that group. Looking further back, your lap down drivers, you can see Tom Sloan ended up a lap down. Logan Williams, Reggie Fogelman, Nathan Ormond, Bryce Egan, Laura Chung, RJ Beers. RJ Beers finishes 39th. Never mind about what I said on RJ Beers. We could have a new points leader. Uh-oh, watch out for that. That happened very, very late in the run. Wow. I did not see that one coming. So RJ Beers, with that run of 39th, out of nowhere, is going to most likely lose the points lead. And then Sam Odoskin, the one driver out of the race in the 22. Let's go ahead and first take a look at what happened to Laura Chung and probably involves Sam Odoskin. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Well, this is going to explain everything. Here's the 22 of Sam Odoskin and the 99 of Laura Chung. They're going to try and enter the pit lane here, and we are going to get a massive, massive stack up. Look at that, stopped. And man, that's a big hit. So you can see the damage caused for all these drivers at the back of the field. That explains why so many drivers ended up a lap down and with some damage. So very unfortunate for this group. As you can see, Sam Odoskin got the worst of it. Wow. That was a pretty big one, but, you know, that's unfortunate for the 22. That's unfortunate for a lot of the drivers at the back, but that's simply just racing. So that's it for all of that. After looking at that replay, that's all I have planned for today. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the point standings and the burnout. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you next time. This is Drew Webb, or That DP Guy, signing off.